listeners! Welcome to our channel, Learn English with Podcast. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting and sometimes intimidating topics, how to speak fluent English in 2025. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your skills to the next level, we've got powerful tips to help you sound more confident and natural when speaking. Forget the old school grammar drills. This is all about making learning fun, practical, and easy to stick with. From podcasts to daily speaking practice, we're going to show you how to weave English into your daily life without feeling overwhelmed. So, grab your headphones and let's get started. Fluency is just around the corner. But before we dive into today's topic, let's quickly introduce today's guests, Luca and Maria. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to channel, where we make learning English fun, exciting, and, well, sometimes downright hilarious.
And effective, Luca. Let's not forget effective. Hi everyone. I'm Maria, your thoughtful guide for all things language learning.
And I'm Luca, the guy who keeps Maria from sounding too much like a college professor. Together, we're your dream team for English fluency tips in 2025.
Today we're diving into a topic that's close to so many people's hearts. How to speak fluent English. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who loves learning new languages, this episode is for you.
Exactly, and let's be real, English is like the Wi-Fi of languages. Whether you're traveling, working, or binge-watching your favorite shows, you need it.
In 2025, the world is more connected than ever, and English remains the bridge language for communication. But here's the thing. Speaking fluent English doesn't have to be intimidating or boring.
Nope, that's why we're here. We're giving you practical tips, things you can do every day, to make fluency feel achievable and, dare I say, fun?
We'll be covering everything from listening to podcasts and audiobooks, to watching TV shows, writing daily, and even practicing speaking out loud.
So, grab a cup of coffee, a notebook, or just kick back and relax. Let's get started with the first step on your fluent English journey.
Let's start with one of the most underrated yet powerful tools for improving English fluency, listening. It's such a natural way to absorb the language, isn't it, Luca?
Absolutely. Think about how babies learn to speak. They don't crack open a grammar book. They just listen to their parents, their surroundings, even the weird cartoons on TV.
That's right. Listening is foundational. And in 2025, there's no shortage of resources to practice listening. Let's talk about podcasts first. Podcasts are fantastic because they expose you to real-world English. You can choose topics that interest you like technology, lifestyle, or even storytelling.
Exactly, and the best part? You can listen while doing pretty much anything, commuting, working out, or even cooking dinner. Multitasking for the win.
Some podcasts are designed specifically for English learners, like The English We Speak or All Ears English. They break down idioms, phrases, and cultural references.
But hey, don't just stick to learner-friendly ones. I say dive into what you love. Sports, crime, comedy, whatever floats your boat. That way, learning doesn't feel like a chore.
Good point. And remember, you don't have to understand every word. Focus on getting the gist. Over time, your brain will start filling in the gaps. Speaking of listening, let's not forget audiobooks. These are excellent for expanding vocabulary and improving comprehension.
Oh, I love audiobooks, especially mysteries. There's nothing like listening to a suspenseful story to keep you hooked. Plus, they use a wide range of vocabulary.
Exactly. And when you listen to genres you enjoy, it doesn't feel like work. You're learning while being entertained.
Pro tip: start with books you've already read in your native language. It makes it easier to follow along, and you'll pick up new words faster.
And for those who want a challenge, try audiobooks narrated by great voice actors. Their clear pronunciation and varied accents can really enhance your listening skills. Here's why listening is so important. It improves your ability to recognize sentence patterns, accents, and even emotions in speech. Plus, it helps with pronunciation.
Yeah, you can't say it right if you've never heard it before. And let's face it, some English words are just tricky, like choir. Why does it sound like choir?
True. Listening helps you avoid embarrassing mispronunciations. It also builds your confidence because you start to internalize how English sounds. So start small. Choose one podcast or audiobook this week and commit to 10 minutes a day. Over time, you'll be amazed at how much you've improved.
And who knows, you might just discover your next favorite story or host. Speaking of which, let's move on to our next tip, one that involves your screen time. All right, Maria, let's talk about something everyone loves, screen time. Watching videos and TV shows in English is probably the most fun way to learn, don't you think?
Definitely, Luca. Visual learning is not just enjoyable, it's incredibly effective. When you watch videos, you're combining audio and visuals, which makes it easier to understand the context, even if you don't know every word.
And let's be honest, it's a great excuse to binge watch your favorite shows and call it studying. I mean, who doesn't want to learn English while watching Stranger Things or The Office?
Let's start with YouTube. It's a treasure trove for English learners. You can find channels on almost any topic, tech reviews, cooking tutorials, fitness routines, or even comedy sketches.
Oh, and don't forget travel vlogs. They're perfect for learning casual, conversational English. Plus, you get to virtually explore the world.
That's a great point. And if you're struggling to follow along, don't hesitate to use English subtitles. They're like training wheels for your ears.
Exactly, but here's a pro tip. Once you feel confident, turn the subtitles off. It forces your brain to focus on listening, and that's where the magic happens.
Now let's talk about TV shows and movies. These are perfect for understanding natural speech patterns, accents, and cultural nuances.
Oh, and let's not forget the phrases and idioms you pick up. I learned break a leg from a movie. Imagine my confusion when someone said it to me before a meeting.
That's a good one. TV shows like Friends or Modern Family are especially helpful because they use everyday language and humor, making it easier to relate to.
And for the fantasy fans out there, shows like Game of Thrones or The Witcher can teach you more formal or poetic English. Just don't start saying thou and hast in everyday conversations.
Very true. And here's another tip. Pick shows that match your level. If you're a beginner, start with children's shows or sitcoms. If you're advanced, dive into dramas or documentaries. Here's a strategy to make your screen time more productive. Active watching. Pause and repeat sentences you find interesting or challenging. Try mimicking the intonation and accent.
I love doing that with iconic movie lines. My I'll be back impression is spot on. Want to hear it?
Maybe later, Luca. But yes, repeating lines helps improve pronunciation and builds muscle memory for speaking. Visual learning works because it engages multiple senses. You're hearing, seeing, and processing the language all at once.
Plus, you're subconsciously learning cultural context. Like when someone says, spill the tea, you know it's about gossip, not literally pouring tea everywhere.
So pick a YouTube channel or show, and make it a part of your daily routine. It's a fun, immersive way to improve your fluency.
And if anyone asks why you're watching TV all day, just tell them Luca and Maria said it's educational. Let's move on to another essential skill, writing.
Now that we've covered listening and watching, let's talk about an often overlooked but incredibly important skill, writing. It's a powerful way to solidify your English knowledge.
Totally agree, Maria. And before anyone freaks out, no, you don't have to write a novel to get better at English. Baby steps, people.
Exactly. Writing a few sentences every day can make a huge difference. It could be as simple as describing your day, your plans, or even how you're feeling.
Or you can write about something random, like why pizza should be its own food group. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Writing daily helps you practice grammar, sentence structure, and vocabulary in a way that sticks. It forces you to think in English and organize your thoughts clearly. One of the easiest ways to start is by keeping a journal. Write about what happened during your day, your goals, or something you're grateful for.
I once started a journal and ended up writing about my favorite snacks for a week. Not deep, but hey, it was fun. And I learned a lot of food-related vocabulary.
That's a great example, Luca. The key is consistency. Even just 5 to 10 minutes a day is enough to build a habit. For those who like storytelling, try creative writing. Write a short story, a poem, or even dialogues between imaginary characters. It's a great way to play with the language.
I once wrote a poem about my dog in English. It didn't rhyme, and I used the word bark way too many times, but hey, it was still progress.
And that's what matters, progress, not perfection. Creative writing also lets you experiment with new words and expressions. Writing is crucial because it reinforces everything you've learned through listening and reading. It also helps you notice areas where you might need improvement, like verb tenses or spelling.
Plus, it's a confidence booster. When you see how much you've written over time, you'll realize just how far you've come.
So whether it's a journal, a poem, or a random list of your favorite snacks, start writing every day. It's one of the best ways to strengthen your English.
And who knows, you might discover you're a budding writer. Next up, let's talk about the secret ingredient to fluency: consistency.
So far we've talked about listening, watching, and writing. But here's the glue that holds all of this together: consistency. It's the secret to mastering any skill, including English.
Consistency. It's like going to the gym. You can't expect a six-pack after one workout. Trust me, I've tried.
Exactly. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. The key is showing up every day, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes. The first step to consistency is building a routine. Pick a time of day when you're most focused, morning, afternoon, or evening, and dedicate it to your English practice.
Yeah, make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Like brushing your teeth, but way more fun. And hey, you can even multitask. Listen to a podcast while commuting or cooking.
And don't try to do everything at once. Focus on one or two activities each day. For example, you could listen to a podcast on Monday, write a short paragraph on Tuesday, and so on. There are also plenty of tools to help you stay consistent. Language learning apps like Duolingo or Babbel send you daily reminders. You can also use a planner or calendar to track your progress.
I use a habit tracker app, and every time I check off my English practice box, I feel like I've conquered the world. It's oddly satisfying.
That's a great idea. Visualizing your progress can be incredibly motivating. And if you ever miss a day, don't stress. Just pick up where you left off. Here's the science. When you practice consistently, you're reinforcing neural pathways in your brain. Over time, this makes using English feel natural and automatic.
Translation: the more you do it, the less your brain freaks out when you hear or speak English.
Exactly. Consistency also builds momentum. The more you practice, the more progress you see, which makes you want to keep going. So set realistic goals, create a routine, and stick with it. Consistency is the key to turning small efforts into big results.
And remember, it's okay to have off days. Just keep showing up, because even small steps lead to giant leaps. Speaking of leaps, let's tackle one of the scariest but most rewarding steps: speaking out loud. Alright, folks, it's time for the main event, the big kahuna: speaking English out loud. Let's be honest, Maria, this is the part that makes people the most nervous, right?
Absolutely. Speaking is where all your skills, listening, writing, and vocabulary, come together. But it's also the skill most learners avoid because they're afraid of making mistakes.
Newsflash: mistakes are your best friends. If you're not messing up, you're not learning. I once called a waiter a weather in English. Did I survive? Did I laugh about it later? Also, yes.
The first step is simple. Speak out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Narrate your actions, describe what you see, or talk about your day. It's all about building confidence.
Exactly, you can be your own audience. I like to have pretend conversations with my favorite celebrities. Oh, hi, Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I do think I'd make a great sidekick in your next movie.
That's creative, Luca. Speaking out loud helps your brain get used to forming sentences in real time, and it improves pronunciation. If you want to take it to the next level, find a speaking partner. This could be a friend, a language exchange partner, or even a tutor.
And if you don't have anyone to talk to, no problem. There are apps like Tandem or HelloTalk where you can connect with native speakers from around the world.
You can also join local English clubs or online communities. The key is to create opportunities for real conversations. For pronunciation practice,